What's going on, guys? So you're wondering what the setup is for the autocross. This is going to be it. So we're going to autocross tomorrow. They confirmed it. Trying to get this camera set up. Should be good. Hopefully. They're still doing it. So I get this thing off. I've been messing with this for about an hour. Trying to get the right setup. Everything like that. So. But we have reached 2,000 subscribers. So that's a pretty big milestone. I remember when we hit 1,000 last year. That was awesome. 2,000 this year, even better. And we're just going to continue to grow this channel with new ideas, new content, and everything like that. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. We are currently doing a giveaway to Hawks Motorsports, and that's down in the description below. So definitely get your entries in there. I think we only have about 5 entries, or no, sorry, we have about 34 entries. Or 34 people that entered. So there's definitely a lot more entries you can get there. If you go into the link, there's a bunch of things to get entries in. So and there's also daily entries. So if you visit the page again, you'll get a daily entry as well too. So but yeah. What's going on, Chuck? What's up, guys? Look at that. Other than that, you know, we'll be doing a few more videos this year. Winter's coming. Winter's coming quick. It snowed yesterday. It snowed today a little bit. Way too early for snow, but it's definitely coming. They're calling for a bad one here in Wisconsin, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, we'll just keep trucking away. There's a few more things I gotta do to Big Chev, and then I think the Firebird's probably gonna get put away first week of November, probably. You know, we'll do a little video on that. Put that away, and that'll be good for the winter. We do have a video coming up with Aaron's new truck, so that should be good. That's actually gonna be really exciting because it's gonna be good. So watch out for that video too. But yeah, other than that, been doing a lot more shorts. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Doing a lot more shorts. Those seem to generate a lot more traffic, which is interesting because you throw a video up there, 2 minutes in, it's already at like 2,000 views, which is crazy. So probably you guys will probably see more of that stuff. It's mostly just for fun. That and to generate more traffic. So, but also thinking about doing merch. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not. Do some merch. Maybe start a merch store. Maybe do like a pre-order deal where we create a design on a shirt and we take pre-orders, open it up for like a week or two. And then once the orders are in, pretty much it's like limited run stuff. So we make a design. You guys like it, you can purchase it, and then after that it's done. We're on to another design. So I think we're going to do it that way. I just got to get a hold of a local company in town and see what we can design and kind of go from there. So I really don't know anybody that in town that really, I mean, there's a couple companies, but I haven't talked to anybody yet, so we still got to do that. But yeah, summer's over, fall's here, winter's on its way. Not good. I wish summer was just a little bit longer, but what do you do? So trying to think, you know, I do have another thing coming. Another vehicle. I just don't know when I'm going to get it. It's not the most exciting thing, but I think I'll be able to make good content out of it. It's not here yet, so we shall wait for that. It could take 6 months, it could take a year, it could take, I don't know, 2 years. The way things are going. I just wish people understood when they order a vehicle, you know, they may not get it right away, and the days of the habit now is kind of gone. At least vehicle aspect. I mean, you know, if you want something, you're gonna have to wait for it, and I'm sure that's what all across the board. It's just like computer chips, you know, computers, desktop computers, certain graphics cards. I mean, I've heard all that stuff is like super hard to get. So, along with vehicles, yeah. So, but that's kind of just like a little secretish thing that, you know, it's on order. Should be fun. Someone did ask me in a comment about the Ranger. The Ranger is gone. I did end up selling that. But it, yeah, that's gone. So someone did comment that like a little while ago. Hopefully they watch this stream. But Francisco, hello, hi. Oh, all the way from Spain. Firebird Formula 305 TPI red. It's a good car. Regards, my friend. Your English is just perfect, my guy. Just good. So, thanks for joining. That's awesome. Glad to hear from you. Spain, all the way from Spain. Wow. Wish I could go to Europe. Just travel around Europe and just take in all the culture over there. I mean, there's so many different. It's just different down over there from what I've seen on videos and everything and all that. I'd love to do a cross continent like drive or something. But I don't know. Maybe someday. But original 45,000 miles. Ooh, that is a keeper. Don't be scared to drive it, but it's definitely a keeper for sure. I got about 100,000 more than you do. Actually, 105,000 more than you do. We're almost at 150K. I think we'll cross that here this weekend after the autocross event. So, oh really? Europe cars are really that bad. To be honest with you, I haven't worked on many Euro cars, so I can't say anything for them. I am really starting to like BMWs. I don't know why. Like the newer stuff, like 10 and up, 2010 and up. I don't know why. They're definitely, I don't know, just BMWs. I don't know. I would love to get one, but that or a Jaguar F-Type. I like that too. So 11,000 euro, not bad. Yeah, I mean, like in America, they're running around 10,000 US. I mean, if you get a nice one. There are some examples on like bringatrailer.com that are they're like 30, 50,000, but they gotta be like perfect. Difficult to have a V8 in Europe, I would imagine, so, or Spain. Yeah, I mean, everybody's, even America's kind of drifting away from V8s. I mean, I would say by about 2030, you won't see one vehicle with a V8 on the road. Which is kind of sad. Well, new vehicle, I should say. I shouldn't say. Everybody's going to try to keep them alive. What I think the manufacturers should do is definitely keep the V8 alive through the aftermarket, like GM Performance, Ford Performance, and Mopar. I mean, if they can continue to make the V8s, because there's really no, I don't think there's any like limit on it. I would imagine not. I'm sure they would want to, but I don't think there's any limit on it. So they should just do that. Just keep making V8s through the aftermarket. Ooh, but V6 3.1, 6,000, 8,000. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a big price difference between the V6 and V8. It's interesting. I wonder if they have like must have more V6s over there that get imported or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. I know here like we there's actually a listing, and I wish I would have posted it, but there was a listing for a four-cylinder, a '83 four-cylinder Camaro with AC and a four-speed manual. And the car, it's in North Dakota. I think it's still for sale, but it's well, it's like a rare car. It's not a desirable one by any means, but it's definitely rare. And God, if you were to get that car, Iron Duke, 2.5 Camaro with a four-speed and AC, I everybody I shared it to is like, why are you not going to get that right now? I'm like, what the hell do I need that for? So. But that's a North Dakota red 83 four-cylinder Camaro. And a lot of people don't even know they were made, but they did. It was pretty much the base model to get people into the car. And then you can just go from there to a V6 or V8. So, trying to think. But yeah, autocross tomorrow. Definitely tune in for that video. That should be coming out this next week. I don't know how it's gonna go. I got the camera set up. And we got the helmet. I don't know if you guys seen that in the beginning of the video. But yeah, it's just we got that all set up. So should have a good view. There's 2 sessions to it. There's gonna be a morning session which starts at 9, and then there's gonna be an afternoon session. I think that starts at 1 o'clock or noon or 1 o'clock or something like that. That's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be a Black River Motorsports Raceway, Black Motorsports Park, something like that. I'm forgetting, but yeah, that should be fun. It'll be the first time out across the car. I'm not gonna go too hard. There are first place prizes and stuff, but we'll see what happens. There's 3 classes: rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, and all wheel drive. So it's not like everybody's competing against each other. So that should be fun to watch and to be in. I'm excited to actually see the other cars run because I don't know. It's an old car. I don't know how the Firebird's gonna do it. And everybody's asking me like, why you you're racing your Firebird? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna see how it does, and just kind of go from there and see how fun it is. And if I like it, maybe I'll do it next year too, because it sounds like he's gonna have more events there at that raceway. And there's not many raceways in this area. I mean, and it's small. It's a small track, but I think it's gonna be fun regardless. So, but yeah, 2,000 subscribers, guys. That's crazy. And Francisco, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. It's awesome to see subscribers from different demographics and areas and everything like that. It's just awesome. Makes me want to keep going and doing this. So I brought a lot of water because when I start talking, I just get thirsty. Trying to think here. Car show stuff this year was pretty good. We did a few videos on that. It was fun for the most part. I mean, I went to a lot by myself. Went to a lot of car shows by myself, so it's always fun to meet new people and everything like that. And I did a lot of driving. I think I put about I think we put about almost it would be 3,000 miles before I put the car in to storage. So 3,000 miles on the Firebird a year. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're only driving the car like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, every so often, it was kind of a lot. So I made sure I was like, this is not gonna be a garage clean. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna drive it, have fun with it, and it was good. It was a really good time. So did a lot with the Chevy. The Chevy pickup. That one pretty much kept me sane the whole summer. Just working on that, just getting it just exactly how I want it. Just pretty much gotta redo the frame on it. We're gonna like wire brush the frame and then just do a POR something, paint over rust something. Comes in a big gallon jug and it should be good. Make it look not so rusty underneath. I mean, the rest of the truck looks great now, so it's like the worst part of it is you look at it and all of a sudden you see the frame and it's kind of like crusted over a little bit. So it's not bad, but it's just looks not like the rest of the truck. So, but definitely subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already. I know there's only a couple people watching. Definitely enter that giveaway if you're in the United States. Sorry, Francisco, I wish I could send it overseas, but we're just not there yet. Maybe one of these days we will do an international giveaway. We gotta get bigger though. Gotta get bigger. Tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe, watch. And just get this channel growing. I really want to. The main reason why I got started this channel is to have fun, create good content as best as I can. I mean, I just learning as I go along. And then just trying to experience new things, meet new people, just kind of expand out from my hometown. And I live in a place where there's not many people. There's not really that big of a car scene either. There's a few people that are into cars and they do stuff with cars, but it's not like a big city where there might be like I would say about like 10 or 12 car guys in this area. Like you go to a bigger city and there's like 100 or 200, depending on what you're looking at, JDM or American Muscle or Euro or what have you. So it's just kind of it's a pretty much a depressed area. I wouldn't say like poor, but people only spend money on things they need, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's not really a rich area. There's a lot of old money. There's not a lot of new money. Like young people like me don't have thousands of dollars just to waste on cars. And I shouldn't be wasting it on cars, but I do. I just try to make my cars as the way I want it. If something's not right, I don't fix it right away. I mean, I don't address it right away. Like I like doing things to where, if there's a good deal, a part or something comes up with a good deal, I'll buy it. But usually I try to wait for the exact part I want. So it's kind of how I try to do things. I try not to settle just for like, oh, that's the cheapest thing, I'm gonna buy it, But I did end up buying a cheap set of 4th gen seats because they were just too good of a deal and they don't pop up that often. Out of a Firebird. I don't know if you've seen that video or not, but we revealed them a couple videos ago. Wondering. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions for me at all, but let them go. I'm watching the live stream here, or the live chat here, so definitely fire away if you have any questions. What else to talk about? Thought about getting into ice racing, which is when the lake freezes over. I don't know if anybody. Burnout with a stick shift. Okay. So I really want to make a video for you because I know you've asked a few times. I really just want to make a video for you so I can just show you, because it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely not the hardest thing to do. So I'll kind of explain it the best way I can. So when you're in your car and you're at there's no reason to be chicken to try. You'll get it. Okay, so when you're in your car, you're in dead stop. Make sure you're in first gear, of course. And then what I usually do is I kind of like clutches in, and I give it a little couple taps on the accelerator, get the RPMs kind of up. You'll see them jump up. And like once I hit like 3 grand and you see it come up to about 3 to 4, you just let the clutch out, and then as soon as you let the clutch out, slam on that brake, and as you're like revving at the same time, once you rev up, you like push the gas down as far as you can as you're dumping the clutch. So it kind of like it's called popping the clutch. And then, but you want your pressure on the brake as soon as you floor it. And at that point, you hold that brake as hard as you can. Sometimes your back brakes will overpower, but sometimes not. So when you're floored and your brakes pressed, usually the front brakes catch first, and then your rear tires will start spinning, and you'll actually feel it. Like the car will lurch forward, the brake will catch, and like the car will kind of like lurch forward, brake, and then the rear of the car will kind of come up, and then the rear tires will just start sitting there and spinning. It's not hard to do. You just kind of gotta practice it. Like if you just go to an empty parking lot and just like, I would say do like a couple burnouts. Like just do just a couple dump the clutch burnouts. Rev up to about 3,000 RPM, dump the clutch, and just try to do a burnout. Floor it after you dump the clutch, and just do like a couple of those, like 2 of them, and then like, okay, so once you got that down, you're doing a burnout. Once you pop the clutch on that third one, pop the clutch, hit the brake, and then you should feel the car kind of lurch forward, then stop, and then the ass end will come up, and then the tires will spin. Once you feel the tires spinning, just keep holding the brake and just kind of like modulate the pedal. You don't want to over rev it. You don't want to rev past 5,000 RPMs, but you can feel it. Like you'll watch your RPM gauge, and you can kind of like modulate it. So like you can hold the gas as much as you want, and then once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I've done enough burnout, just let off the brake and just kind of roll out of it. And that's pretty much how it works. Like I said, I really want to make a video for you because I think a lot of people would have fun with that video and try it themselves. I mean, there's definitely risk to it. You could, I would have a buddy with you because sometimes the clutch won't catch, and that's not fun. When the clutch doesn't catch, I've done it a few times where I've tried to do a burnout and the clutch won't catch, and it'll actually start slipping, and then all of a sudden all this smoke comes out of the bottom of the car. That's probably the worst thing, but that only happens. It happens if you're not quick enough releasing that clutch, and then like it'll just slip. So it not very often that happens. I think I've only done it like twice, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I would say definitely give a couple burnouts a try. If you've done that, and then that third time, just do the burnout, but slam on the brake after you dump the clutch and see what happens. It should overpower the brakes, but how do you okay? So I'm just reading your comment here, Chuck. So I mean, I'm trying to see how you're trying to word this, how you're explaining it to me. So I mean, once you initiate that dump of the clutch, you're on the brake, and yeah, just roll out of it. I mean, once you got your burnout you got the smoke rolling, you know, just let off the brake and roll out with the gas, and then push the clutch in when you want to like stop. That's about it. So, like I said, I'll probably make a video for you just so like I'll try to do one before the before the snow flies, before the car goes in, because it's definitely a fun thing to do. I guess you could call it a good party trick, but yeah, like doing donuts too. Really like doing donuts in that car. I remember before we painted it, there's a video actually out there where I think I posted it on YouTube. Where me and a buddy, this was before the YouTube days, me and a buddy went out and we went Facebook Live, and I did a burnout, and then there was this like T intersection just on this random back road in like the National Forest, this random T section. And I went into that T section, I just started whipping donuts. That was probably the funnest I'd had with a car. And like, I mean, I whipped like probably 6-7 donuts, and then like really tight donuts too. It was really fun. Then right after that, the radiator popped. We got back into town. It was probably another like 15-mile drive back to town. Got gas at the gas station. Drove into the parking spot, and the radiator just popped and started dumping coolant everywhere. Just shows you like, I don't know how long that would have lasted, but it would have sucked if I went on a trip and then that thing just like popped on a 100-mile road trip. Then Cruise for Cancer 2021, did a bunch of burnouts then, and then I popped the water pump on it. Did a video on that too. Popped the water pump. That was and I was wondering why the coolant kept going low. I'm like, I'm having to fill this thing up like every month or so. Like it wasn't dry, but like it was definitely low, and I'm pretty sure the water pump was on its way out, because when I took it off, there's a video on it. I show it. If I take it off, you can see like the like stains of the coolant coming out of the porthole that when the water pump blows, there's a porthole that leaks. And I was wondering why, and yeah, it was just it'd been leaking for a while, but I never noticed. Because the thing just leaks oil now. Did both radiator and water pump within a 30-day span. That's good. Hopefully, I'm going to tell you this. Hopefully, you changed upper and lower radiator hoses at the same time, because you'd hate that's like the last thing to go. Is the radiator hoses. Mine didn't. I actually still had the lower radiator hose on. It was the original one with the original clamp, and it. I replaced the upper one when I did the radiator, but the lower one I was like, screw it, we'll just throw it back on. I don't want to deal with it. But when we did the water pump, I changed it, and thankfully I did, because that radiator hose was looking really bad. So hopefully you did that. If not, I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. It's pretty easy. But oh yeah, hell yeah, thermostat too. That's the best thing to do when you're in it. Just get the thermostat done. Nothing wrong with that. I will say, I think I gotta confirm this, but I think the engine is smoking pretty good now. Not like bad, but like if you're sitting at a stop sign and you kind of rev it up a little bit, and there's a couple videos you can see it when I'm doing burnouts, it will puff some blue smoke. So I think that 305 is kind of getting to the point where it's either needs to be a good refresh, gone through the engine, or we're just gonna pull it out and probably LS swap it. I don't hate to say it, but like I do like the car because it is a 2-port injection with a 5-speed manual and everything like that. It's like the most performance you get in the 3rd gen. And I'm just, I'm gonna keep this car forever, so it's like, why not build it the way I want? It's been repainted like 3 times, like I would say 2 times now, at least, in its life. It's not original, so it's like, I'm going to do what I want. Mostly on start up and hot. Yeah, I see it. I had my valve seals replaced too. And after that, it was like perfect, like no smoke, everything. But I think the valve guys are starting to go, and yeah, I could pull the heads off and everything like that, and get the heads redone and everything. But I think if I'm pulling the engine out, that engine's not going back in. I'm gonna keep the engine, mind you, and I've always wanted to put that 305 in like a little S10 or something, and just have like a nice little street truck, V8 street truck with a manual. But I'll keep that engine. But I am gonna go with LS swap. And I'm not. I really don't want to do a junkyard one. I really don't want to do that. I want to do an LS3 out of a new Camaro. I mean, I would do an LS3 out of like a wrecked Camaro, but like I'd rather get like a GM Performance E-Rod LS3 and put that in there just because of warranties and everything like that. You know what you're getting. It's no miles, so that with a T56, and probably just run the same rear end until it blows up, and then do like a 12 bolt or something. I've also, and this is kind of sacrilege, I've also, not playing with the idea, but talking of the idea of doing a Coyote swap. And I don't know, I think it'd be a lot of work. I don't think anybody's done it in a third gen. I think I seen someone do it in a first gen Firebird, I want to say. It was like, it's like one of one. Someone did it. I'm pretty sure someone did it to a first gen Firebird, and I was just like, wouldn't that be funny if I put a Ford engine in my Pontiac? And I think the best thing would be is if you're at a car show, and I can keep all the stickers the same. I mean, the ones on the hood say 5-liter fuel injection, or FI or MFI or whatever it says, fuel injection. But I would say it'd be pretty funny, you go to a car show and people are like, oh, and mind you, the Coyotes have a very particular sound. You roll into a car show, you got this thing just thumping Coyote sounds out of it. And, just rolling in and people coming up, I could just see, I could just imagine this. See people coming up and like, hey, what do you got in that thing? And you go, oh yeah, it's just the 5-liter engine. And then you pop open the hood and there's a Ford engine in there. I know it'd be sacrilege, but me working for a Ford dealer, I probably can get a good deal on a Coyote crate. I think that would be sick, but it'd be so much work. I mean, you'd be rewiring everything, trying to make everything work with gauge wise. I'm sure someone could figure it out, or I could figure it out at some point, but like to fit a dual overhead cam engine in a spot where a Chevy small block sat, I don't know if that would work or not. I'd have to measure it out. I know where a Coyote V8's sitting out of a pickup, but it would be it'd be a nightmare. But I think it'd be funny. What time are we at? 5:36. So, any other questions? You're planning on? Oh wait, I'm not even reading your comments there. So hold on. If I pull that out, I'm planning on a small block 350 and planning on keeping the Quadrajet. Yeah, if you got someone good with carburetors, you're good with carburetors yourself. I am just not a carburetor guy. I've tried with carburetors and everything from the lawnmower to a dirt bike to a snowblower. If I touch any of those carburetors, they do not work like they should. So I am not a carb guy. I'm just not. It is what it is. I just like starting them up and then them doing what they need to do. So, hopefully you guys entered the giveaway. Give me a thumbs up if you guys entered the giveaway. It's It's a good thing to enter into. $200 to Hawks Motorsports. They got a lot of stuff there for $200. Enter that giveaway. Make sure you click that link. You get daily entries too, so or daily entry. So make sure you guys are doing that. I'll give you a count right now. I'm gonna do a count. Let you guys know how many yeah, see, we only got like 34 entries, guys. 34 entries. So make sure you're getting it entered in. 34 entries, $200 to Hawks Motorsports. I've been sharing this everywhere. I thought I'd at least have 100 people. Who doesn't want $200 to Hawks Motorsports? I mean, that's like, you know, a little bit toward a spoiler, a headliner, something. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something. I have a white 86 T. Yeah, swapping a Coyote would be savage here. That would be pretty savage. It would be massive project, massive. I don't even think Aaron would take it on, to be honest with you. He told me, he's like, if you do that, you're on your own. So he'd help with anything body wise, but I don't know, an engine swap. I don't know. But I would like to, there's a few cars I'd like to own at some point in my life. Maybe not keep them forever. The Firebird, I'm keeping forever, so that's, I'll never get rid of that one. But there's a couple cars I want to own. I don't know if it'd be a 95, 96 or no, 94, 95 Mustang 5.0 GT. I wouldn't mind a Cobra if you can find one, but either or GT with a manual. I think it'd be really cool to have a newer Edge, or a SN95 Mustang with the old pushrod engine. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm not too much on fast stuff. I like quirky things. A lot of people, if people talk to me, I like quirky things. I mean, I've even been asked, like, what car don't you like? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I don't know. I like everything. Shit, you give me a Pontiac Aztek, I'll probably like it for some odd reason. But yeah, 94 to 95 Mustang GT. I'd love to have one of them. Everybody's like Fox body, but I think those cars would be pretty cool. Just with that old pushrod 5-liter and a manual, and that body style, I think that'd be pretty sick. I don't know. I think there's that, and then 70s Trans Am. I think that would be either from like 70 to 81. 70 to 81 would be pretty good. My cousin has one, and he said he'd sell it to me. He's got a 79 Trans Am with the Y82 code, paint codes, which is Smokey and the Bandit. Paint code, he pulled the build sheet out of the rear seat, and it sure enough is supposed to be a Bandit paint code. So I'd love to get that off of him, but I haven't seen it in probably like 10 years probably, so I don't know what the shape is of it. Love to get that car. It's actually it's got the shaker hood, and it's a 301 auto car. So with that car, I don't think I'd restore it back to what it is. I'd probably put like I'd love to put a big block in it, but always swap the arrowing from Hawks in it. Yeah, hell yeah, that's the best thing to do. I don't know who in the design team or the materials team thought it was okay to make that shit out of rubber, but I know they made those bumpers out of rubber, and they were probably thinking the same thing, but like back in the 80s, they made those bumpers are out of rubber. I don't know why they were thinking like that. That was the stupidest thing they could ever do, is make a spoiler out of rubber. Fun fact I learned, when that Aero spoiler came out, they were not, I want to say they weren't painted, or they were painted black on like 85s. Was it 85, 86? They were black, which is interesting. I just learned that the other day. Like, if you see a 85, 86 with that spoiler, and it's painted body or if it's painted body color, it's not original. It's supposed to be black, which is crazy to think. Yeah, seriously, I don't know who wouldn't want $200 to Hawks. I mean, save a little money during the winter and get your stuff before spring, get it on your car. I mean, shoot. 95 GT, that's the one you missed the most. I don't know, there's something about those cars. And I remember being a kid and being on my BMX bike. And I just remember this was probably in the late mid 2000s. It was like 06, 07. And I just remember this all black SN95 Mustang coming down one of the main highways, downshifting towards the stoplight. And man, I've never heard a better sounding car. It must have been straight pipe with headers. All black wheels, nice dual chrome tip exhaust, and he's just coming in black tinted out windows. And man, that thing sounded so sick. I'm pretty sure it was a newer than a 95. But oh man, it just, after I seen that car, I was like, hell yeah, that would be one car to own. So yeah, talk about a design brain fart. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure they thought the same design as like the bumpers that they had back in the 70s that were rubber, that were shit too. Matrix 1, welcome to the chat, dude. Just reading your comment. Had 8 third-gen Firebirds, currently have an 89 505 speed for 8 years now. It's a long time to have one car, and they're good cars. 89, ooh yeah. Yeah, they're definitely good cars. 8 third gens though, holy cow. You gotta run through that list for me if you can remember. That is cool. And they're all Firebirds too. Wow. Like I said, I had it. There's a listing for a 4-cylinder Camaro, and I really want to get it. And I know it's gonna be dog shit, but I really just want to experience a 4-cylinder Camaro. It has AC to it. So Iron Duke 83, 4-cylinder Iron Duke 83 model with a 4-speed and AC. It's gotta be super rare. But yeah, if you can remember your third gens, that'd be sweet to see a list of it. But yeah, that's cool. I've come close to buying other third gens. There was 2 of them I came close on. There was one I almost got. It didn't have a steering column in it, but the engine was there. Didn't have I figured I was just going to buy a steering column. The interior was there, and I was just going to LS swap it just with like a truck motor or something. I was going to haul it back. It was pretty clean for rust. There was no rust on it, but I'm glad I didn't, because it was kind of a rat. It was a ratty car. But like I said, it didn't have any rust. SN95s took a lot of criticism from the Mustang purists, but I loved it from the start. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of I'm kind of a Chevy Ford guy, so it's like, I don't know. I go either way. I like stuff that Chevy's done. I like stuff that Ford's done. But you know, it is a Mustang. I think the only Mustang that the purists really don't like is that Mustang 2. That thing was god awful looking. And it was, performance-wise, I don't think it was that good either, but yeah, definitely, guys, don't forget to enter into that, the giveaway, $200 giveaway to Hawks. So Matrix 1, make sure you hop on that and click that link. And an 86 V6 5-speed, 85 TA, 87 GTA, ooh. 87 V6 5-speed, 350 formula. Ooh, I want one of those in black so bad. A 350 formula in black. I don't even care if it's a coupe. I'd rather have a coupe car, but in a 350 formula. 305, 89. Wow. Yeah, I would love to find a Formula 350 car in black, though. I would love to have one in black. I did find a 305. It was almost identical to my car. It was a 305 5-speed tune port car. I didn't know if it had rear disc brake, but it had a big dent in the door. It was in Minnesota. Car was clean though, low miles, and they didn't want that much for it. I want to say they only wanted like $4,000, and I kept messaging. Didn't hear anything back from them. All of a sudden, I see the car post up again on Craigslist for like double the money. Dent is still in the door and everything. So, just sold it. Black 350. Needed too much work. I hear you there. Sometimes they get to the point where it's just too much. You got solid bones. It's good to keep, but it's just over budget. You don't want to keep them. I'm trying to think of another car I want to own. There is another one. I would love to do and I hate to say this, I'd love to do like an early Honda Civic build, preferably a 4-door, a 91, 90. Teenager rolling around on a BMX bike. That was kind of one of the cars you've seen was a early hatchback, CRX or hatchback or sedan. Even seen someone soup up one of those wagon van or the Wago vans or whatever, the Honda Civic van thing. But yeah, I would love to do a Honda at some point, just to do it. I mean, I would probably wouldn't keep it, but just to do one, to say I did one and enjoy it for a little while, and then sell it off. But maybe someday. I gotta get a garage built at my house first. Trying to think here. Oh, you did. So you drove a Fiero with a Iron Duke. Yeah, I've driven a Fiero with a V6, and it was dog shit. I'm not even gonna lie, it was freaking dog shit. Excuse me. I don't know if it was running right or not, but it was auto. It was pretty bad. It was a V6 one though. Fiero was on the list too, and I hate to say it, it'd have to be the '88 Formula. I messaged the guy like last winter. Guy had one posted up and he was willing to do trades, and I said, hey, would you trade for a Mercury Grand Marquis for this Formula Fiero? And he thought about it for a little bit, but he wasn't about it. So I was told I would be more than willing to drive. It was in like Michigan, lower Michigan actually. So I'd have to go around Chicago and come up the other side, but that'd have been sweet. I think it was a 5-speed too. It was an 88 2.8 5-speed Formula, and the kicker was it was the same color as my car. It was white with those mesh wheels that were black, so I would have had like a matching set of Pontiacs, and that would have freaking sweet. But probably a good idea that I didn't. I'm sure that thing was a basket case if he was getting rid of it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Fiero. I would love to own a Fiero. And one of my first experiences with a Fiero was at Tomahawk Car Show in Wisconsin. I was walking around. There's 2 cars that year that I stopped and talked to the guys. One was a mid 90s Cadillac Fleetwood with the LT1, and the guy had it like all SS trimmed up. So like he had the SS wheels on it with the Cadillac logo in the center cap, and then underneath he had like the Cadillac fuel rail cover like etched out and everything. Gorgeous car. And the dude was just sitting in his lawn chair, and you know he was not a younger guy, but like you know he was a father. He had his kids with, and he you know I went up to him, talked to him like, hey, this car looks great. What is it? You know, I didn't even know what it was at first. I just remember seeing the SS wheels, and then all of a sudden I seen the Cadillac badge, and I got drawn in from that. And the guy was just super excited to talk to me about it. Like I'm pretty sure he was sitting there for hours, and probably nobody took a second look at that car. But me being me, liking weird stuff, that just drew me in. And I had a great conversation with him. That was one of the cars that I saw at that Tomahawk show that it just made me stop, and I had to talk to the guy. Swapped a North Star into an 87 Fiero. Now that's pretty cool. Now he needs an extra gear. I would suppose so, yeah. Probably revs pretty high. That's sweet. So going back to that story, so I talked to that Cadillac guy. Now this is where it's gonna tie into your North Star here. So I'm walking around, and that Cadillac was like one of the first cars like one of the first blocks of cars. It's like an 8-block show. It's all down this main street, 8 blocks worth of cars. So I'm walking back around, and my girlfriend at the time, it was like 40 degrees where I live, and then we get down to Tomahawk, Wisconsin. It's like 80 degrees. So we're in sweatshirts, sweating. So we stop off and we get something to drink, and then we kept walking. When we get down the side avenue, we're going down the one side, and we turn back around off the side street and come up towards the main street, and all of a sudden there's like 4 cars just lined up right there, and I see this Fiero, and it looks dead stock, like I mean right down to like dead stock. It was gray in color, and the interior, it was a 5-speed car. Interior was dead stock. And I go around to the back of the car, and the guy's sitting there in a lawn chair, and he goes, and I said hi to him, and he says, hi, you know. He was kind of like he wasn't like standoffish, but like you could tell like, I don't know if his car wasn't getting attention, because nobody was like really looking at it. Because I looked at it, because there's like hot rods next to like 30 like window coupe, like 30s window coupes or whatever they call them, 4 window coupes, 5 window coupes or whatever. He was next to some pretty good caliber cars, and I stopped talking to him. I said, you know, what year is it, everything like that. He goes into depth with me. I said, oh, it's a 5-speed car. He's like, yeah. And I'm looking at these tailpipes, and he's got these quad tailpipe, you know, dual tailpipes each side. So quad tailpipes each side, right? And I go, oh, I see you got a couple of exhaust tips on. He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, what engine you got in this thing? He was like, oh, it's just a 383 small block. I'm like, I'm looking at this guy, and I'm just like, can I see it? So he gets all excited at this point. So he gets up from his chair, and he pops open the back of the hood there, pops it open, and sure enough, there's this small block Chevy sitting in there. And I asked him, I was like, how did you run the exhaust in this? He's like, oh, had to get some block hugger headers and then modify them. I'm like, oh gosh. So, and I look underneath the car. I was like, I gotta look at this. So I look underneath the car, and I see the exhaust how it's run. It's like block hugger headers, and it comes back into 2 resonators, and then after those resonators, it comes back out to these quad tips. So I'm talking to the guy, you know, I'm like, hey, what transmission did you use? What did you do here? Excuse me, what did you do here? And he starts explaining to me, oh, we used the stock transmission. I had to do this, I had to do this, I had to do this. And you know, and as I'm asking him questions, you can see his face getting, you know, lighting up more and more. And that's what I like about car shows. I'm like talking to people about cars that people wouldn't normally ask questions about. And then finally I asked him, I go, can I hear it? And he's like, no, I know it's way too loud. I don't know if I don't know if I should. I said, no, I understand. There's a lot of people here. It's totally cool. And you know, he sat there for about a good 5 seconds, and I'm talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I said, oh man, this car's freaking really cool. And as soon as after I said that, you know what? Since you're the only person that asked me questions about this car, I'm gonna fire it up for you. So he jumps in the car, and it's a carbureted car, so he's pumping up the gas, and he clicks the key, and all of a sudden this thing fires up, and it's like the loudest small block I've ever heard, and it just starts up hitting cam. I'm like, all of a sudden, like, people are coming up and just surrounding this little Fiero, and everybody's coming around this thing, and I heard like one or two guys go, I didn't know there was a V8 in this, and like, it just shows you, like, you gotta pay attention at these car shows, because if you didn't know, if you didn't ask if that had a V8 in it, you would never know, because it looks so stock. And yeah, that's kind of the moral of the story. Just like, don't overlook some stuff at car shows, because people put a lot of work into stuff, and you know, people do go to car shows to get noticed. I don't know if there's so much there to get trophies, but they're there to meet people, show off their car, talk to people about their car, and just have a good time. And that was like one of the car shows that kind of hooked me into going. I didn't even bring a car that year. I just drove down there just to go. And yeah, that's what hooked me on car shows. Just the fact that to talk to the people that haven't been talked to and they have really cool cars, like that's probably the best thing. But yeah, that's my little rant on that Tomahawk car show. Moral of the story: talk to people about their cars if you got any little interest in them, if they're sitting there, and probably learn a lot. So. 6 o'clock, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys get entered, right? No, there's not much space there. Not much space at all. It was, like I said, I had to get on the ground and just take a peek underneath. It was amazing to see. The guy said it hooked up really good because, of course, all the wheels on the back axle. He said, I asked him, I said, you got any traction problems? He's like, no, not at all. Like, this thing just, first gear, it does spin, but second gear, he said it dead hooks with the tires that he had on it. And they weren't like any fancy tires either. You know, they were just a good sport tire. That was on the factory wheels too, like the factory mesh, like gray mesh wheels. So. Sorry, that beast was like a dog whistle. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was like just people had to come and take a look at it. But oh. So what do you guys think of the 2,000 subscribers? I think that's pretty cool, you guys, man. I'm definitely pretty psyched for that. That's awesome. I do like I said, I do want to start getting some merch going. Like I said, we'll probably start doing like a limited run of stuff, like do like pre-orders, and then because I could order a bunch of shirts, but I'd rather do pre-orders so then everybody gets what they want, you know, what size. Because like if I run into the issue of like ordering like, oh yeah, you ordered like 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, and then I'm left with like 5 of them. It's like, what's the point, you know? I'd rather just people order what they want and then pre-order, and it'd be like a limited run design. So you'd have that limited run of, you know, March 2023 we come out with a shirt, and then March 2023 is like you show it off and be like, yeah, I got that. So I got that from the Wisco guys. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna work towards it. I'm gonna talk to someone about it and see if we can get that process going. So Yeah, definitely. No, it's good to take your time at car shows because I'll walk through like 3 4 times. Usually if I'm filming, I'll walk through once with no camera. I'll walk through with the camera, and then I'll walk through again without the camera, and I'll just start like talking to people. Usually by that third time I walk around, it's so busy because there's people coming in from, just people coming in to look at cars. But it it's fun. It's fun talking to people. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Iola on the Iola, Wisconsin car show. They say that's like one of the biggest car shows. I don't think I'll enter into it. I think it's what it's gonna be is I'll just go down there. It's a big swap meet thing. I'll film it and everything, but it should be fun. That, and we're gonna do. I don't know if we'll do Tomahawk again. I know Aaron wants to, but there's also a car show in Crete, Illinois. It's actually third gen fest. Yeah, third gen fest. If you YouTube third gen fest, you'll see videos by a guy. He's got a third gen too, of course, but he does videos. If you look up third gen fest, it'll pop up. Gearhead Abe, I think his name is. I don't know how I pulled that out of memory, but yeah, Gearhead Abe. If you look up him, he's got third gen fest. I think I want to go to that. I think if I get those fourth gen seats in, it'll be a proper looking car, and it'll be good. It's quite a drive. Hopefully the little 305 can make it, but I think it's like a whole day's worth of drive or 8 hours worth of drive at least. So, but I definitely want to do that. I gotta talk to Aaron though, because it's one of those things where it's on the same weekend as that big Tomahawk car show. So, is there any cars that you guys would want to that you guys want? Like any cars like it's on your bucket list? Just let me know. If there's any cars that you guys like. Like I said, I got a 70 to 81 Trans Am Firebird or whatever, probably Trans Am. Then 94, 95 Mustang GT. I don't know if there's anything you guys are searching for, or the right one comes up. Let just discuss, guys. That's what we're here for. Q&A. 2,000 subs. Giveaway is live. Don't forget to get into the giveaway. $200 to Hawks Motorsports. Like I said, there's only 34. I just checked. There's only 34 people entered. So you have a good chance. There's under 50 people. You have a 1 in 34 chance at the moment right now. It's only going till next week Sunday, so definitely want to get your entries in. But other than that, I think the autocross is going to be really fun. Definitely look out for that video. Like I said, I don't know if I showed you guys, but the helmet's ready to go. Camera's on. So that'll be fun tomorrow. Hopefully the weather holds. It's been snowing. Like I said before, it's been snowing, and that's not what you want. Dang, you've owned Crown Vics too. Picking up a late Grand Marquis early next year. Yeah, they're good cars. I actually, when I went to go get those 4th gen seats, the 4th gen seats were in St. Paul, which is about 4 hours from me. St. Cloud, Minnesota. Just went on a whim at noon on a Sunday, and I was like, I gotta go get these. They were listed on Facebook, and I took the Grand Marquis down there, and I will tell you that two 4th gen seats will fit in the back trunk of a Grand Marquis. So that's cool if you're ever trying to pick up seats. Everybody said it was kind of a risk. I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna not fit a set of Firebird seats. I started measuring out my seats. I'm like, get one in the back and then one in the back seat. It's perfect. So, and it ended up working out great. Yeah, third gen fest. So I'm gonna try to go to that. I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Like I said, depends on what Aaron's thinking that weekend. I'll probably have to get a hotel down there. $95 Impala. Yeah, they are pricey. They are really pricey. I don't see too many of them for sale anymore. Like the clean example ones are like 15 to 20 grand now. You know what car I really want though is the Mercury Marauder. I do have an old friend off Facebook. She's got one, and she hunted for hers. Like she's had it for quite a few years. Well, I would say about like 5 or 6 years now. She hunted for one, and it was like it's like that dark blue color with a factory spoiler from Mercury. So 94, 96. Now, does it have to be the SS model, or can it just be a just a standard one? Oh, back to the story. I got 26 miles to the gallon with that Grand Marquis going to get those seats, by the way. 26. The computer said 25.4. I did the math with all the gas I put in. I put in about $60 worth of gas on the whole trip. And I calculated by hand 26.4. So the car gets good gas mileage on the freeway. I was doing like anywhere from 60 to 80 miles an hour on the freeway. Just floating down the road. Drove really well. It does need rear brakes though. It's chattering a bit. Welcome to the live stream, guys. We've been at it for an hour. Don't forget to get into the giveaway for Hawks Motorsports. The link is down in the description. So don't forget. Oh, lost 2 people. So, but definitely, I'd like to thank you guys again for 2K subs. It's huge for the channel. You know, when I started, I don't think anybody believed we'd even get to 1,000 subs, but here we are. Like I said, I'm just doing this for fun. Pretty much everything I make off of YouTube goes right back into a video or equipment, or sometimes I'll use that money to go to an event and film. Everything that this channel generates goes right back into the channel. Either be a part to film for a video, to go film a video. So just want to let you guys know that I'm not just pocketing for my own personal use. I guess it is my personal use because it's my channel, but yeah, but the money is getting used to be put back into the channel. So but heck yeah. What do you got here? 90 and 90, 94, 96, there's a Caprice and an imp. Okay, I got you. Okay, I understand. I got you. That makes sense now. Yeah, a Caprice, I don't know, in your area, those Caprices they didn't exist up here. A lot of the box Chevys did, the old Impala, the 4-door Impalas and stuff. A lot of those existed around here for a while, and then they just rotted out. But not very many of those Caprices were around, and if they were just beat to living shit. You could tell they were like an old cop car from like Minneapolis or something, or Duluth. Yeah, but they're beat to shit. You know what car I would love to coyote swap is the Mercury. I would love to coyote swap that Mercury. Um, to double the horsepower and then still have that boaty of a ride, like that'd be such a sleeper. You're just sitting there at a stoplight, and then coyote rumble, be freaking sweet in a grandpa car. I always get accused of being called a grandpa in that car. Like people will see me and they're like, "Oh, I thought you were an old grandpa," and I'm like, "No, that's just me." Like, and like I don't drive the car slow. Like I'm doing the speed limit or faster, so it's not like I'm going like 20 miles an hour in a 25 or 20 miles an hour in like a 40. No, I'm doing 40, 45, 30, 35. So it's not like I drive it like a grandpa. I do cruise it, but oh heck yeah. No, those videos were fun to make. I just wish I wish I had more time to do those videos because to be honest with you, we were on a time crunch, and I'll tell you the quick backstory on that one. So we in 2020, of course, COVID hit and everything. Um, I tore the car apart in late August to paint it. So it was late August. I'm like, oh, I'm tearing it apart. Let's take bumpers off, everything. It was actually supposed to be way quicker than what it was. So we get the bumpers off, and we get the doors disassembled, and we get a couple things primed here and there. We get the doors, yeah, we get the doors off. We get the doors off and everything. We found, and this is the video, hidden damages on the Firebird. We found so much repair work in that driver's door. We're like, oh shit, like. Aaron wasn't worried about it, but I was. I knew the door had been damaged and was repainted, but I didn't know the extent to it. And then the rear bumper was pretty good. The front bumper was like, I don't think it was original to the car because it was white, red, black, and white. That's how it went. It was like top layer white, next layer red, next layer black, next layer white. So that front bumper came off of who God knows what car. And it got to the point where just like, oh, we should do this, we have this apart, we should do this. And the worst part is we started in August of 2020, end of August 2020. I got everything apart as much as I could. And then we didn't touch it till about December after stuff was primed. Like it just sat in the corner of the shop and just sat there till December. We started working on it a little bit, and then all of a sudden the boss came in and asked, "So, give me a deadline for when your car is going to be out of here." And quickly I said, mind you, this is like Christmas week in 2020, and I was like, it'll be done by the end of February. Oh my gosh. So at that point I didn't realize what I said, and me and Aaron hauled ass. If it wasn't for Aaron, I wouldn't have ever even attempted to paint that car. But Aaron is definitely probably one of the best painters I know. If Aaron had the facility and Aaron had the time, Aaron could do a show quality car. Like if you gave him the time, the materials, and the correct spray environment, he could I would put his paint jobs next to like Semaville, like probably better than Semaville paint jobs. I'm not even like saying that just to say it. Like if he had enough time to where he could block sand, everything like that, and then spray and then wet sand buff, like I don't know. I would put his paint jobs up against any of the best in the country. He'd probably just be laughing at me right now if I said that. I don't know if he's watching, but yeah. If he had the time, Like yeah, he could do custom paint jobs and be like best in the country, I think. Yeah, that bumper was bad. So, yeah, Viper Bright White is what we painted it. There is a video. I don't know if you've seen this video, but there was a video. We went through a color binder, and there was 3 colors that, mind you, they were all going to be white. So, regardless, they were all going to be white. There was three colors that I was thinking of. Oxford White from Ford was the same color as my Focus ST, which I love the color on that car. That was one of them. We were thinking about doing Alpine White from BMW. That was a big contender. And then we were thinking about doing I think it was Frozen White from GM. And I remember taking the books, and I think I showed this in a video. I remember taking the books of that. We took the GM book, we took the Euro book, we took the Ford book, and we laid them out from PPG, and we could put them right next to the car. And I remember putting, each of those colors right on top of my paint. And you could see my paint through the little cutout, and then the color next to it. Junk Marrow, what's up, dude? Long time no talk, dude. I just seen you posted on Instagram not too long ago, so it's good to hear from you. So back to the story. The Oxford White was not bright as what the car was painted when I got it. The car was repainted when I got it. So Oxford White wasn't bright enough. BMW Alpine White was not bright enough, and then GM was like eggshell color next to, and this was the brightest white from GM. It was eggshell color next to whatever was painted on this car at some point. So I'm like, man, none of these colors are like quite right. So we start flipping pages, and we get to the Fiat, mind you, Fiat palette. So we get to the book, and I'm just paging through, and I get to the whites, and there's this one white that jumped off the page, like jumped off his page. It just boom, there it was, the white page, and then the white color jumped off the white page, and I'm like, what is this? So I looked at it, and it said Dodge or Chrysler. I go run over the car, I put it next to the car, and this white was brighter than the white that was already in the car. Aaron thinks that somebody just painted the car white, took white toner, came out of the gallon thing, and sprayed it on the car. So it was like one of the brightest whites you could get. But this white, Viper Bright White, was actually way brighter than what was on the car. So we ended up going with that, and there's a video on it if you guys, I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but that was pretty much the decision. I was dead set on Oxford White for a while, because it was like, oh, I could, I've had Oxford White, it's a good color, but man, that Viper Bright White was just like, and I will tell you, white does not win car shows. That's one of the things, but yeah, that's one thing I gotta do to my car, and I want to do it. I gotta get one of the windows, the passenger side window, working better. But I do want to tint the windows 20% like I did the truck, just to give it that look, that white on black contrast. I love that look. But yeah, I'll explain it this way. that car was, I built that car probably about 100 times in Forza Motorsports. As cheesy as that sounds. I took the Firebird GTA and I upsized the wheels on it, painted them black, uh, decaled the top with T-tops, and then yeah, just made my car out of that GTA Firebird out of Forza, and I built that car like 100 times. LS swapped, whatever, engine swapped, stock with the T56 gear ratios, and it was crazy when we got the wheels on, and I'm looking at it, and it's like the damn video game. Like, I'm looking at this thing, and like even when I don't see the car for like a week or two, and I walk into the garage, and I go, "Fucking A, that's my car," you know, like, holy shit, that's my car. Like, it just makes you feel good when you accomplish something like that. You have the car you've built and dreamt about. I've had that car 13 years now. It's been 13 years this October. I actually bought it this time of year, 13 years ago. So yeah, it's fun building your dream cars on Forza because you can actually afford it. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to build. I'm not done with it. I'll tell you that. I mean, we're gonna do interior next year. I got 4th gen seats for it. Like I said, my only concern is to either go black carpets or the factory gray. I don't know what to do. Everybody's telling me go gray because they said the black carpets show a lot of dirt. So, and I'm kind of leaning towards the gray carpet that came in it. I have to replace it because it's got cigarette burns from the 80s and 90s in it, and I don't smoke, so I'd rather not have cigarette burns in it. But I did pick up a black set of 4th gen seats, which is in not the last video, but the video before the autocross ready video. So yeah, C7 Corvette. That does look really damn good. I've built C7 Corvettes in the same color scheme. You got black in your car too, eh? I don't know. Depends on. Sometimes I make the decision right before I order, so we'll see what happens. I'm leaning towards black, but I don't know. But I definitely gotta get a carpet before I put those seats in. I'm actually gonna switch the rails off of my seat onto the 4th gen seats just so they work accordingly. I don't, because the rails that are on those seats, I think that car went through a flood, but the fabric is actually in good shape, so it's just the rails are kind of rusted up. Guy said it came from Texas, but he thinks it was a flood car, which it's okay. I'll get them cleaned up. For the money I paid, I got $260 in a set of 4th gen seats, so it's fine. I'll work with them. I'm gonna check something real quick. Well, you still are doing videos, Junk Marrow. Valve adjustments. I haven't seen anything from you lately. It didn't show up in my... Usually I try to watch your stuff when it pops up. But... yeah, it was definitely a good deal. Oh, I definitely know. It's been busy here, and there was a point where I didn't post for a long time because it just got so busy. Yeah, $260. It wasn't bad. I had to drive 8 hours, 4 hours one way, 4 hours back. But just found him on Facebook in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and I said, yeah, I was watching the Packers game when they were in London in the morning at 8 a.m. and I'm texting this guy at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and he's like, yeah, I got him. I was like, will you be around this afternoon? He's like, yeah. I actually pulled in the dude's driveway, and he's still trying to take out the driver's seat. One of the bolts was sort of rusted down in it. And like I said, the car was clean. Like when I looked at the car, it was super clean. Like it was, but like the interior, like it wasn't a T-top car. It was a 95 LT Trans Am, LT1 Trans Am. Just a flood car. Oh shit, yeah, fixing locomotives. Actually, interesting enough, Aaron is actually into locomotives himself. He actually, he always talks about going to work for the railroad, painting them. But I don't know if he'd like the hours, and I'm sure he'd like the pay. But he thought about getting the locomotives to fix them and painting them. He's really into trains, that's for sure. He actually does model trains too. So but he's into those. He shows me a bunch of trains from the old Sioux Line, railway, and yeah, his dad's super into it. He actually has a book out on the old Sioux Line depot and Sioux Line rail system. So they're rail cars, locomotives. Yeah, 50, 60 hours a week. No, I hear you. I mean, shit. Yeah. Do you guys have no, this is a question for you, Junk Marrow. Do you guys have a certain spot you work on them, or do you go over the road and try to travel where the trains are, or I don't know how that works. Or do they come to you to get fixed? Oh, both. Oh shit. Oh, I hear you there. Shit. There is a guy on YouTube that Aaron watches, and he actually fixes. He changes. He does maintenance on the big diesel engines. Does the fuel filters and everything like that. And I seen this dude on YouTube. He showed me a couple videos of it, and he shows me all the maintenance stuff. And like what the hell was it? The coolant system. This dude had to flush the coolant system. I couldn't believe how much coolant was in that system. Damn, yeah. You should. It's too bad you couldn't do YouTube videos on that, because that guy is getting. I wish I knew what his name was. That guy has got some views. And he just does it with his phone too. Like he just does it with his phone. 400 gallons. Damn. Holy. Yeah. Yeah, I just remember watching him change this cooling system. I'm like, oh my god. Just insane. $400 gallons. And I'm sure an oil change has got to be at least what? Yeah, 250 gallons. Holy shit. Oh, I suppose that's all they last. Got enough fluids to run thousands and thousands of hours and miles, and I mean, I don't think people realize how much the railways still deliver a lot of the goods. I mean, everybody thinks semi, but like when I went down to Oklahoma, went down there for a family reunion, and just the amount of railway in Oklahoma is like just eye-opening. Like where I live in Wisconsin, they don't have a rail system anymore. Like there's nothing. Everything gets trucked in. There's no locomotives or nothing. But going down to Oklahoma, it was like big rail yard, and it was huge. It was like lots of goods going in and out of there. think one of my cousins said that they have like some crazy thing in Texas, some crazy shipping or locomotives that come up from Texas hauling everything. So I don't know if you guys seen or not. Ah, thanks, Chuck. You have a good one. Thanks for stopping in and watching the live stream. I don't know if you guys saw that. That the third gen Camaro or F bodies were featured at GM at Carlisle or whatever. I wish I could have gone to that, but it was just way too far. I watch a lot of that Fireball Mullet, his videos, and oh hell yeah, I'd love to see those pictures. But that Fireball Mullet, he went to that. I wish I could have went to that. Some of the third gens, they were just creme de la creme, like a guy bought it, never drove it type stuff, but it would have been pretty awesome to see. So, well, I think I'm gonna call it. It's getting pretty, well, not late, but we've been at it for about an hour and a half now. We'll probably do another live. We're probably gonna do another live stream on Sunday next week, and we're actually gonna announce. Well, not announce the winner, but we're gonna have like a thing where we have a countdown to the end of the giveaway, and what we'll do is I'll live stream it, and then I will email the winner. Hopefully, they respond back as we're on the live stream, and kind of. Maybe that'd work too. I don't know, but just to prove to you guys, it's all right here. There it is, right there. Good to go. $200. Enter now. Put your entries in. So. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Junk Marrow, Chuck too, and the other guy from Spain that stopped in. Hopefully, we can grow these live streams a little bigger. I actually really enjoy doing live streams. So, but just thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Thanks for the 2K subs, and looking forward to those pictures too, Junk Marrow. Definitely want to see those. I can show Aaron too, because he'll start getting excited, and it's awesome to see. So. All right. Thanks, guys. You have a good night or day or whatever you're having. See ya. Bye.